guys, I'm going to go ahead and explain the last part of the collage project, which is the background. So it's number 4, using at least one style of lettering, not plain. Fancy. Fill the background space with a message about the person, a quote, or adjectives that describe the person. The quote / messages / adjectives should be outlined with Sharpie, and they can be colored in with Sharpie too. Check the final project for contrast and balance. So contrast meaning that there's a different focus between the collage and the background, and balance meaning that one part is not visually heavier than the other. All right, so if I was looking at, let me see if I have my finished product over here. Okay, this one right here has words in the background, and that's what we are going to be adding in also. There's a little bit of creativity with this. It doesn't have to look exactly the same here, but I do think doing it in Sharpie will create contrast because the background would be all black and white, and then your project is mostly color. So I think it would help the collage stand out a little better. The other thing is if you don't have Sharpie, you could use a black colored pencil or a black marker. I would shy away from black crayons because they tend to make the project look messy, but a black colored pencil would be fine if you don't have a black Sharpie. So I've talked about already what words should I add in the background, but if you are confused, you can look at this silhouette collage help sheet and it may give you an idea. Let's go to mine. My collage is not fully complete, but I wanted to go ahead and show how to do the lettering. So you're only going to do the lettering when, let's say, this was all done, and I will finish that. The lettering or the words, technically you can start at any place, but I'm going to start on this left side, and I'm going to turn the paper, and I'm going to begin writing letters, almost like block letters that fill up the space. Now, they don't have to be block letters. They can be any style of letters you want, but I suggest making some of them wide so that you can fill them in. So I came up with 3 words that I wanted to start with that were adjectives about my daughter. And so obviously I love my kid. I think she is spirited. So spirited meaning she just is a go-getter. She's very outgoing. She likes to try new things, and she just has a way about her that brings like a presence into every room. So I say she's spirited. She's loving because she's always helping me out. Not all the time, but most of the time. And I think she's beautiful because she's my daughter. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the word spirited. So I'm going to try to make this almost as wide as from the edge of the outline of the contour of the head or the body to the edge of the paper. So let's see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and do the S. And I'm just going to start making this a block letter, and then maybe I'll change it. It almost looks like my S is upside down. All right, SP, and I'm trying again to make it pretty big here. Now, I know how to make block letters by simply just drawing them, but if you cannot do it this way, that is totally fine. And they don't have to be block letters. They could be bubble letters. They could be, I don't know, vine letters or whatever makes you happy, as long as it's just not plain. We don't want plain and ugly. All right, so I know this sounds silly, but I wrote out how to spell everything on a scrap piece of paper, because one of the worst things that you can do in art is if you're putting words on something, misspell it after you worked really hard. So here's spirited. All right, so spirited kind of went up like that. And then the next one I wanted to do is loving. But I feel like I need some sort of break or symbol or something here to make it like change. So I'm trying to think what would be a good idea. I could even put like one of those, I don't know what they even call these. It's like curly, one of these. Okay, you could almost put anything you wanted there. So loving. So let's say I stretch, and maybe I'm gonna make this different. This font, like a curly font. L. And this may be ugly, I don't know. We'll see. O. V. I. And this is seriously when I'm checking the spelling because you just never know. I. And then N. So notice I'm trying to make it, I made this lowercase, N, and then G. Okay, so I got spirited and loving. And the other one I was going to do is beautiful. It might be a stretch trying to do beautiful, but I will go ahead and try to do it. So I'm going to put one of those weird things. I might change that later. And then maybe I'll make this just a regular black letter for the sake of time. But I might change it. B-E-A. So let's pretend for this video's sake that I put beautiful here. And I may need to make these smaller to make it fit because beautiful is a very, very long word. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to go through and I'm going to outline these. Now, my suggestion is that you color these in with Sharpie. And the reason is because if you put a bunch of color in the background where you had this being all color, nothing is going to stick out. It's going to look like a huge giant mess. So sometimes, even though I love color, you have to hold yourself back and stick with black and white. So I'm going to color these words in with a Sharpie. I like to outline them first. Okay, I would do all of those and then color them in. When you're all done, look at the final project, see where you need to make adjustments, and then you are ready to do your artist statement. Thanks, guys.